Welcome back. So clearly I haven't changed. I'm wearing the same shirt as last time because that was about 5 minutes ago. But I need to tell you the story about nearly being fired for incompetence. Certainly embarrassing at the time. I don't think of it quite the same way. So I'm a teacher. I've been teaching for 9 years now. I'm really grateful for both my school district and union support through the awkward difficulties of failing 2 teacher evaluations. Whew, embarrassing at the time, stressful. Was it ever stressful? But both the school district and the union were very supportive. And so even though I don't agree with every single thing that both the district and the union does, I'm so thankful. And I think that that's a nuance and an important thing that, adults can do. I'm adulting now, and being grateful to people and organizations that aren't, perfect or whatever is possible. So thank you for those of you who supported me through that. Specifically, the union and the district provided some really great and important resources, as well as getting tested for this. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I better back to my notes. So what was my problem? Because when I was at my first real teaching job, a lot of the parents were happy. We did band concerts, we did band trips. The elementary kids were singing all sorts of great African folk music, and the town loved it. I still get compliments when I run into people in the grocery store. Oh, it was so great when the whole school was singing this song, and it was. We had a lot of fun. And the band, was progressing nicely, and we went on trips and had concerts and, did all the things that band teachers should do. So I'm a band teacher, in case you haven't figured that out yet. I came to a different job, and it became more obvious to some people, I suppose parents. There were a few parents who didn't think that what I was doing was great, and they were wondering about why I didn't have good data to back up some of my grading. And I didn't. I collected data, but I wasn't great at it. Because in a band class, and I'll potentially put this in the notes, you might have 1.2 million data points, depending on how many ways you want to assess what's going on in the class. Just think about how many kids there are, how many notes they play per second, how many seconds there are in a band class, and you're not going to be playing every second, but let's say you played, even on the low end, 50% of the time. It's a lot of notes. And then you analyze each of those notes 5 or 6 ways. It's a lot of data points. So at the time, I wasn't very good at thin slicing. Malcolm Gladwell talks about thin slicing. But now I've actually got a pretty good system. I didn't even really understand or care about systems at the time, but now I love them. And the debate in my mind is, am I more boring because I'm being much more systematic? And maybe. Honestly, it's quite possible that there's a little bit less excitement due to uncertainty in the classroom, which I know a lot of kids thrive on. But I'm systematic and the kids are learning, and now there's data there. So I test on scales. We play that scale. Play me a scale. Okay, there's 16 data points. Great. Now I can do that really easily. Anyway, that was one of the things that I was not very good at, and I've since learned it's really important, if nothing else, to communicate to students and parents, oh, this is the thing that you can do, and here's exactly the spot where you need to change and, fix and then grow as a result. And those are the foundational skills. Other people are going to do things differently, and that's great too. But I found a method and a system that really works. So, data collection, that was not going well. Planning. I remember somebody said, well, where are you going to be with this class in February? And I was just blown away. Like, well, how on earth could I know that? It's not February. I don't know what the kids are going to learn then. And I'm not sure if that's because I was, inexperienced in my 4th, 5th, or 6th year, or if it's because the medicine really helps me to see the future and make a plan. On this day, we're going to learn this thing. And then the next day, we're going to learn the next thing. And then on the next day, we're going to test and make sure, assess, and move on to the next thing, which doesn't really allow for too much variability in learning styles, right? If there's a kid who a student who, needs more time, making a plan like that doesn't really function super well, but you can get the majority of students going along and learning at a good pace. Anyway, I ended up figuring out now, okay, so, and it blows my mind, but the medicine really allows me. I can just make plans and follow through with them. This video is evidence of that. I planned today, I need to make one episode, the first episode. And, in the future, I hope that I can put my camera down and maybe wear a different shirt and not be wearing a hat. I like the hat, but I wanted to just get it done and start and then refine the format stuff as I go. And I'm just doing it. It's in my planner. I'm going to show you my planner one day. I've kept a day planner since I got diagnosed and since I started the medicine. Now, I'm not going to be trumpeting the medicine horn all the time. There are many ways to address ADHD without medicine. There's a lot of beneficial things you can do. I run. I find that to be super helpful. But the difference of with and without medicine is very evident in my life. And I'm going to tell you all about that going forward. But the end of my story, it's not really the end, is that I kept my job because I was able to make plans and execute them and able to collect data and share that with students and parents in a more than satisfactory way. I had somebody evaluating me on my third go around after diagnosis and after I got used to the medicine and figured all that stuff out, who said, why am I here? I don't really understand. You're not perfect, but certainly not worthy of the failures that apparently you've had to get here. And I was really heartened by that interaction, and I felt very supported by the staff member of our district who said those things, who was evaluating me. She was very calm and warm and helpful. And I said, well, here's the story. And so I told her basically what I've just told you. And so she said, yeah, no, you're helping the students. You're making lessons that make sense from beginning to end. What you're doing at the beginning helps them learn what you're teaching them in the middle, and you're checking for learning. And there were a lot of changes that I made. I mean, I also have to credit Sylvia. Sylvia was a mentor who helped a lot. She came from a little ways away and was, I'll tell you about her sometime. Anyway, I'm running out of time. And that's another thing that ADHD people are not good with is time. So I'm going to turn it off. Thanks for watching. Argue with me. Ask questions in the comments below.